I've seen something here when it comes to adopting to cryptocurrency. When you're using the blockchain technology, the blockchain technology actually helps to improve supply chain management, and of course they track the movement of your goods and materials through supply chain, ensuring transparency and accountability.
Interesting. So you're wondering how do you start a cryptocurrency business, and what are the kind of cryptocurrency businesses that we have in Uganda? So they say there's a number of different cryptocurrency businesses that can be started in Uganda. For example, you could start a cryptocurrency exchange. So a cryptocurrency wallet or a cryptocurrency payment processor, if you can look into that. So you could also start a business that provides services to cryptocurrency users, such as tax accounting or investment advice. So if you're wondering, how can I start to leverage cryptocurrency for business? Because a lot of people just simply invest in their crypto and then they just let the numbers go up and down. But now a lot of people are now finding ways that they can leverage, almost like a tax advisor or an investment advisor or a finance advisor, right? So someone can be like a consultant for crypto. So that's how they're starting to make money, like one of the people that we're going to have on air today that's going to really get into that. And we're also saying, accept cryptocurrency payments for your business. So this is something that has been talked about before, especially in the business that I was doing prior to this. We were only accepting either cash or Momo or anything that was cashless, right? So this person said, do you accept payments in crypto? And I was thinking, in crypto, that's not something we've looked into. And it's more than one person that has asked me this. You'll be very surprised. I've also had a friend.
I think one out of 10.
Right. So I've also had other friends who've been asked about 10 people in my life that I know say, can I pay with crypto in Uganda? I'm thinking that's such an odd thing to be asking us to be paying crypto.
You ask someone crypto and they're like, what's crypto?
Because exactly. And the reason why is because a lot of people aren't sensitized on the advantages of cryptocurrency, how it works, how you can make money from it, how you can leverage it. But now we're seeing now that as we're going, because you know, I told you the news predicts
the weather.
The fact that we're having this conversation now, do not be surprised. In the next 3 months, Mercy, you had it here first. Don't say, you guys never said it. Do not be surprised if you're going to hear the conversation around crypto in the newspapers, everywhere, because it's something that's massively pounding the pavement. So people are out there pounding the pavement on crypto. Because I've had this conversation for over 4 years, but it's never been very clear, right? So we're seeing people can now start accepting payments through crypto in their business. If you have a business, you can start accepting cryptocurrency payments. This can be a good way to attract new customers.
Well, of course, conversation regarding crypto are going to continue, but of course, right about now, it's just 15 minutes past 7 a.m. Let's get to see what is happening into the press. Well, of course, with me, I have the Daily Monitor, and of course, making headlines, universities to lose over 1,500 courses. Remember the courses? Remember the saga of the courses that were not listed for the international, they're not recognized internationally. So, 1,500 courses. Imagine that. Now that we are transitioning into advancing in technology, new courses are going to come up. We've told you, we've been telling you so.
It's what we talked about. We've talked about upskilling. We talked about some of the courses that we thought were important are now going to be slowly swiped away. Because we thought, oh my God, financial management, this, whatever. Because the AI is taking over. So we have to adapt accordingly, right? So we're also seeing in the New Vision today, we're seeing the rain disrupts UNEB exams, teacher arrested over practicals. That is in the New Vision today. Because we've seen the rain has been intense. Yesterday it rained consistently all through the day. So I'm pretty sure some areas of Uganda that are have a very poor system are definitely flooded. Well,
of course, commercial banks registered growth of assets in past year. Bank of Uganda says growth of assets from 44.6 trillion shillings last year to 48.3 trillion shillings this year shows economic progress. Well, interesting right there. And of course, salary boosts fail to hook doctors to their workplaces. Now legislators and government officials say even when government enhanced salaries of health officials, their services remain poor.
That is
that is Uganda for you.
Can you imagine
the more
that?
they pay you, the more you're like,
even the boost in salaries, the service is still very,
I do
very
not-
dire.
Do you realize actually one of the things that have served people in these maybe public hospitals are these interns? Interns do a tremendous job because every time they throw everything to the intern.
And the interns come with a little bit of fire, they come with a bit of a boom, that excitement of like, oh my God, I'm going into the field. So these doctors who are jaded just throw them to the wolves. So we're also seeing in the new vision, the UAE offers Uganda free space for business center in Abu Dhabi. So we're seeing here, the United Arab Emirates, UAE, has offered Uganda free space at the Abu Dhabi Department of Economic Development for a business center to boost the country's trade in the Arab world. I think this is going to be a very good move, right? So getting space at the multi-billion-dollar business and industrial hub in the Middle East is anticipated to help Uganda boost its foreign direct investments from the Arab world. So this is mainly targeting the mineral exploration, as you said.
Well, of course, I'm seeing here the courses due for review. One of the 1,500 courses. They will have diploma in intercultural studies.
Yes.
Then we have an advanced diploma in music. I'm seeing all this being replaced by AI very soon. I'm seeing a diploma in renewable energies, of course, for the different universities highlighted. We have African Institute of Music, we have African College of Commerce and Technology, that is ACCA. Then we have African Population Institute, of course, Public Administration and Management for different universities. Then we have All Nation. Oh wow, I didn't know we have all these institutions in Uganda. Then we have Fisheries Training Institutes. So diploma in Fisheries Management and Technology is to be reviewed. So if you diploma in graphics, wow. Diploma in graphics, then diploma in business administration. For the different universities, they're reviewing different. Then we have they will have diploma in medical engineering. So these are one of the few of the courses that are going to be reviewed, and they will assess them and see if they are really
viable. To be honest, I'm all for it because there's some courses that do not make any sense. There's some people that study things that they're not doing anymore that weren't relevant to them in their career. They want feasible, they want viable courses. So I'm all about them revising. But I would love them to revise it from that very minute level.
But
I'm talking about from P1 to P7. They should also revise some of those courses that we're doing. We should have more practical courses in schools. We should have more vocational courses, more implemented, because we're seeing where the world is going. People have to be self-employed. They have to make their own employment.
Diplomas.
Yeah.
Diplomas. So I think they're calling for a bachelor's. They have to have a bachelor's. Now a diploma in pharmacy.
I
really?
See. So yes, so they want them to almost uptake to all the way to bachelor. Yes, which I think it should be emphasized. But also I think we should have an overhaul in some of the courses that we're doing that are not relevant to the market right now. You know what I'm saying, Mercy. So we're seeing in the new vision, the rain disrupts UCE exams and teacher is arrested. So the Uganda National Examinations Board, UNEB, has said the Uganda Certificate of Education exams started smoothly in all parts of the country despite disruptions by the rain in some areas. I think it's raining because the exams might be very difficult, I think. Because someone is calling for that rain. Because yesterday's rain was just not real. It rained and rained and rained throughout the afternoon all the way to the evening. So the UNEB spokesperson Jennifer Kalule said they had 25 distribution routes and all their distributors managed to deliver the examination papers to all their main stations. That's interesting.
I'm seeing right here, innovative AI-based solution wins Total Energies hackathon. Now, of course, the company is part of the energy cluster on e-mobility, a think tank, and is supporting innovation in line with e-mobility. So that is it for Total Energies.
That's interesting. I love it. Are we seeing the conversation around AI coming through the newspapers? We're starting to see, as we say that.
So we never told you.
You say the news starts to predict the weather. It's already part of a conversation. It's like no more conversation of AI systems in Total. So before you know it, we need to upskill, guys. So we're seeing the oil pipeline compensation. So we're seeing here when the East African crude oil pipeline project was announced back in 2018, Ugandans along the pipeline route were filled with high hopes of receiving fair compensation to make way for this multi-billion-dollar enterprise. However, what followed was uncertainty starting from the mapping and valuation exercise. The resettlement action plan to compensation of people directly affected by the project, the locals are supposed to be compensated for their property, including land, houses, crops, historical sites, sacred places, and burial grounds. So we're hoping, as you know, that oil pipeline that's going to be along the route, naturally all the residents that have been in the area should be properly and fairly compensated, because it's the land and it's many of the historical sites that they have. So we're hoping that the government does them right.
Here a section of Prosper, Rise and Rise of Uganda, UAE trade relations. And of course, the United Arab Emirates is one of the top destinations of Uganda's exports, including gold and of course fresh organic foods. Uganda exports to the UAE has risen from $300 million in 2018 to $2 billion.
That is interesting, right?
That's like a double.
That's a job. Yeah, it's a double. So in the national news, for those like me who have been to Congo, you're going to love this news, right? So Uganda and Dr. Congo agree to remove entry visas.
Wow.
Please, this is very exciting, because you know the entry visas
That's the beauty.
were necessary, because now we're part of the East African Committee, right? So Democratic Republic du Congo and Uganda have decided to remove entry visa requirements at their respective borders as part of efforts to increase trade between the two nations. The decision was reached during the 8th Joint Permanent Commission, JPC, between the two countries, which ended on Saturday in Kinshasa. In a joint communique signed by Uganda's first Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of East African Community Affairs, Rebecca Kadaga, and the Minister for Regional Affairs of Dr. Congo, Antipas Nyamwisi, the two countries agreed to remove entry visa fees on a reciprocal basis to facilitate the free movement of people. So because, I remember we talked about this before, because they're part of the East African community now, we're hoping that it's going to bolster trade. Already we see that the port points, they're going to have more revised fees at the Kenya ports. Remember we talked about that 2 weeks ago. So now it's also good that they've removed the visa fees, guys, so we can easily travel in and out without having to worry about the extra fees.
I think it started with Kenya, now it's in Uganda.
Yes.
So it's good for a region to have free entry.
Yes, it's amazing, especially having met the Deputy Speaker from in Congo at one of the meetings there, and it was really imperative to see that this change is starting to happen. I love this, especially if you know the fees that are high there. It's great, interesting.
Well, of course, still here for indirect investment from UAE, rising to $2 billion in 2020 last year. And of course, we see Uganda contributes 94% of her exports to the Middle East. That is fish fillet and dry legumes are some of the major exports from Uganda to the United Arab Emirates. So our beans,
fish fillet, fish.
Fish. Okay. We have Lake Victoria.
No, I'm very impressed that we're definitely taking our catfish and Nile perch, tilapia. Our tilapia. So that's really good. I love that. So we're seeing in other news, Rotarians in drive to boost maternal health. So we're seeing here that the Rotarians in Kampala have raised over Sh 127 million to support maternal health in rural areas. The money is part of the efforts to raise Sh 1.2 billion towards completion of ongoing construction works. As a person that attended the Kaliso project last week, I think 2 weeks, Kaliso Rotarian project, it's very good to see the efforts that the Rotarians are actually putting the money together towards building schools, towards building hospitals. So it's a very important move by the Rotarians. I don't know what the country would be without respective Rotarians that are able to boost that.
Well, of course, it's that wraps it up for our business preview and press review. Of course, you can grab yourself a copy of the New Vision or the Daily Monitor to get more information that, you know, if you've gotten interested in the story, you could get yourself a copy. And of course, we are going to go for a short breather and of course, warm ourselves up. So a cold morning. And of course, we shall be right back with East African business news and international. Do stick around.